Hey everybody, I hope everybody had a happy new year and blessed holiday season. For today's first video of 2024, I wanted to talk about 7 tips for preparing for Coast Guard boot camp. We've talked a little bit about prepping for boot camp before. We've talked about things to do at boot camp to succeed, but this video is really going to focus on things to work on now before you get to Cape May to set yourself up for success. So the first thing we're going to talk about right off the bat is the obvious thing, physical fitness. This is the thing everybody talks about. I have talked about this before on the channel, so I'm not going to get into too much detail here today. Just to say that I believe the key thing for preparing physically for physical fitness at Coast Guard Cape May is getting in endurance shape. And that means being able to keep going with whatever you're doing, whether it's running, doing push-ups, doing squats, holding a water bottle over your head, just being able to not stop. Being strong is great, but being able to bench press 300 pounds one time is really not going to help you much at boot camp. So you've really got to work on cardio, endurance, that sort of thing. Number 2, work on your diet. When you are at Cape May, you will get 3 square meals a day, and that's it. There's no snacking. So if you're a late night grazer, you really need to work on being able to be nourished off of just 3 meals a day. Something to keep in mind is that while you're at Cape May, you're probably going to be consuming a lot more calories than you normally do because you're going to be burning a lot of energy. So that's also something to keep in mind. That's something that you can work on in line with your physical fitness. Work out, push yourself to your limits endurance-wise, and then eat in a way that's reflective of that and making sure that you're getting enough nourishment. But again, really focusing on sticking to 3 square meals a day at fairly consistent times, I think will really help you get used to that when you're at Cape May. Number 3, kind of an extension of the dieting, is just quelling habits in general. Things that are your vices, perhaps. If it be smoking, obviously you've got to quit smoking. But even if you like to drink coffee, things like that if they bring you sort of a mental comfort, you've got to be able to let that go. And I would really try to work on that before you get there. You don't want to be there and then dealing with the shakes or whatever other symptoms you might have because you're not drinking coffee or smoking or if it's watching TV after 10 p.m. or whatever. Think about the things that you really enjoy doing. Most things that you enjoy doing, you're not going to be able to do at Cape May. Number 4, a sleep schedule. If you don't have a consistently timed sleep schedule right now, work on that. When I was at Cape May, I believe it was 2200 to 0530 was our sleeping hours. So that's 10 p.m. to 5:30 in the morning. You also have to keep in mind that you'll have overnight watches sometimes, which will disrupt your sleep. You can plan for that, or you can just work on the sleeping 10 to 5:30 consistently. I think that part's going to suck either way. You're going to be tired, and that's just one of the things that happens at Cape May that sucks. But if you can at least work on a consistent sleep pattern and getting yourself up at 5:30 and being productive, don't hit 5:30 and then get up and do a jumping jack and then go back to bed. Be productive and have that be the rest of your day. Remember, these are things to help you prepare for the life at Cape May. So getting used to sleeping on a schedule and being productive off of that schedule is really going to help you. Number 5, standing still and not getting distracted, not reacting to things. So one of the big things in Cape May is going to be standing at attention, and a lot of times you're going to be standing at attention for a very long time. You might be helping out at a graduation, doing the ceremony, or just standing in formation, and you'll have to be standing still or doing something that requires a lot of focus for a long time. So you need to not be distracted by other things. There might be another company marching by and their CC starts yelling, or a whole new group of recruits comes in off the bus and they're all doing their thing. They're getting their initiation, and you need to stay focused, eyes on the boat. So practice that. Practice standing still. Practice putting yourself into situations maybe where you're going to be faced with a lot of distractions, and work on tuning that stuff out. These are little things like this that really can pay dividends for you later when you get to Cape May. Number 6, tidy. Tidy up. Be neat, be orderly. This is, again, something that I'm very bad at, but it is a necessity at Cape May. You will have to have your locker set up a certain way. You will have to have your rack made up a certain way. You will have procedures and steps for every single thing you do. So get in the habit of being neat and orderly, and you can even set up your own routine. Like, you can set up your own rules for your closet at home, or your bed, or your toiletry area, things like that. Have specific rules for how those are supposed to be set up that will help you think that way when you get to Cape May. Number 7, this is a big one, and it kind of rounds out all these other steps together. This is practicing focus. Attention to detail is going to be something that you're going to hear from your CCs over and over and over. And so being able to listen to instructions, because they're going to throw a lot of instructions at you. Sometimes they're going to throw 2 or 3 instructions at you at the same time, and a lot of times those instructions are going to be pushing you in different directions at the same time. So you need to be able to listen, focus in on the directions, and also mentally prioritize the tasks that you're given and the importance of those tasks and which ones should be done first. I always call it the fog of Cape May, especially when you first get there, that it's just going to happen. There's really nothing you can do to prevent that. But I do believe you can kind of prepare yourself and quell that chaos a little bit by just practicing being mindful, being present, listening to the things that are happening around you, listening to, maybe if you're married and you have a husband or a wife, have them nag you a lot and give you honey to-do lists and things like that. Just put yourself in situations to really flex those mental muscles. Another thing that's kind of on that same boat, along with focus, is just memory. And this goes along with attention to detail and prioritizing, because there are a lot of things that you will be learning and that you will have to repeat back. Like the officers of the day, that's a big one that changes every day. Obviously the general orders are important, but you can work on that before you go. But just practicing those muscle skills of being able to pull information that's important and lock it in your brain. Perfect practice makes perfect. So anyway, those are my 7 steps for preparing for Coast Guard Cape May before you get there, and I hope that that's helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you have any specific questions, or if you just like to add a comment to this conversation. If you've been through Cape May before, please feel free to throw down any other steps that I might have missed that you think are important as well. So hope everyone's doing well and having a great new year, and I'll talk to you again soon.